everyone. I was just looking at all the comments. Hi there, it's Bernie here from Stamp-A-Neat, and welcome back to my craft room this evening. We've got Rich here. Who have we got? I was just busy scrolling, and I'm like, hello, Mum. We've got Mum. Hi, Leslie Ann. Got Anne, and I think Vicky as well said earlier that she was going to watch on the replay. So hi, Vicky, and hi to anybody else that I haven't greeted. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome, welcome. Very cool to have everyone here. It's Tuesday again.
Yeah,
Again. Hopefully you all had a lovely week since we last caught up. Hi, Anne. Hello. We had a good week. We survived our 2 evenings and 2 days with our 3 grandchildren. I tried to get them to do the little fingerprint things, but they weren't interested. Our granddaughter just wanted to do watercolor painting with me, which was fine. I'll show you what we painted. We did this octopus. So we did an octopus, and she did a Mother's Day hearts and whatnot. And our boys, no, the boys weren't interested.
No,
they weren't. They just wanted.
Small. They're still too young, I think.
But anyway, I will tuck that in the back for another rainy day. But we had tenpin bowling with them. What else did we do?
Went to the park,
played Play-Doh. We had heaps of fun. And we were exhausted. So we handed them back to the parents at lunchtime and then continued to have Mother's Day. Anyway. I'm going to be, hello, Monica, hello. Having fun tonight with a mini album that I wanted to do something different with the Gallery and Bloom's papers and stamps and dies. So I thought, why not make a mini album? I love making mini albums. This one is very beginner friendly because I'll show you, you don't have to do a lot of fancy measurements for it. It's pretty straightforward. So shall we get stuck in?
Yep.
Okay, let's take you over to my desk. Right. So let me just do a walkthrough with you and then we can get started. So I just took a piece of backing board that I had in my stash. I didn't even cut it down, which meant I had to do a double join on my 6x6 designer series papers. So for tonight's, I took a smaller piece of backing board, so hopefully we don't have to join it, but we may well. And then it literally is just, we're going to create these signatures of some cardstock that we have to do some folding to get it done. I want to show you how I make these little tabs to pop your photos in, which means that instead of your photos being in here permanently, you can change these out, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. And this one now isn't cooperating, but anyway, it usually does go in there. We'll just leave it for now. So this is what we're doing. This is washi tape that I made a few lives back when I did my grungy videos. So do go and have a look how I made this washi tape. It's just on removable tape that I stamped on and then I let it dry. So I used that and pretty much. Now I don't have enough of the blue, so I'm going with the greens tonight. I thought we could use these colors, which are also exquisitely beautiful, and I thought we could use some basic beige. So I just want to get my bits and pieces ready and then we can get started. So how is everybody doing tonight? It's very pretty. Or today, wherever you may be swatching from. I'm just going to get my paper out. Okay, so I've got 2 blocks of backing board. Now this is just backing board that I keep when I get it in our paper. So this is 3 1/4. Hopefully it's measured right by 3 1/4. All right, so let's see how we go. I may need to join them and I may not. I just want to make sure if I join them that we've got the patterns going. So let me just check first whether I'm going to need to join them. Yeah, I think I am. So if I allow a little bit of an allowance, if I just bring this and shimmy it in, gosh, it's going to be ever so just a little bit extra. That's fine. I thought I would. So I'm just going to glue this on the other side. Let's just get this glued, create that join, and then we can start putting this album together. Okay, so I just want to see how I want this to go. I think like that will be fine. I just want to make sure that's all, yep. Excellent. Did you all have a nice Mother's Day, if that's what you celebrated on Sunday?
Mum says winter has arrived.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite arrived yet in New Zealand where we are.
Well,
Starting to get cooler.
It is cooler.
Yeah, but it's not as cold as it would normally be by this time of the year.
No, most definitely not. Okay, so I've got a fancy little doodacky thing here that I'm just going to make sure. You don't have to have one of these, but I make quite a few albums. So I just want to get that nice and level. Okay, I'm just going to use my Tombow glue. Yes, it's actually, usually by now we would have the wood burner going, but we haven't. So we'll see what that's going to be like for winter this year.
Anne says hubby took her out for lunch on Mother's Day.
Hi, Anne. Hi, Pippa. Oh, welcome. This is your first time to my channel. Awesome. Nice. Well, very warm welcome to you. You went out for, oh, Anne said she went out for lunch. Oh, lovely, Anne. That's very special. Yes, I got some chocolate from the kiddies. They did some little bags at church. And so Freya made me one. I'm just popping this in here. Okay, stick that over there.
Other son and daughter-in-law popped in impromptu.
Yes, that's right.
Sunday afternoon
on Sunday
for
afternoon.
a cup of tea.
Yeah,
wish you happy Mother's Day.
That is true.
So it was a lovely day.
It was a very lovely day. Oh, and we went for a walk around the mount.
After lunch.
After lunch, once we'd handed the little ones back to their parents.
It was a beautiful sunny day.
Oh, it was so nice. Usually we go for a walk, a big walk on a Sunday morning. So because we had the little ones, we couldn't do that. So I said to Rich, nah, let's go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I just want to just do my corners. Now, if you don't have one of these doodackies, I brought my old one with. I just cut myself a bookbind guide, which is 3/4 of an inch wide before I bought this, and it does the same thing. So you don't have to have a fancy gadget, but if you do a lot of album making, it does pay to have it. I'm just going to have to cut that off before I carry on.
What's that gadget called?
It's a bookbinding guide from We Are Memory Makers. Let me just cut this off because this is going to annoy me. I got the right scissor today. Yeah, I'm just going to cut this off. The bit that I don't need. That's it. And I'm just going, oh no, I'll come back and do that shortly. Okay, back to here. I just like it because it's, she says, easy to use, which it is, but something's jamming here. Right, that's better. Okay, and now I'm just going to check. How did I want to do this last time? Get my straight levels so I can cut. That's going to be quite a big one. Let's just have a look. Oh, yep, no, that's okay. I'll just leave it like that and cut it off here. Okay, so let's just cut these all off.
Could you cut it with your paper trimmer if you chose?
You could, but you probably would struggle because you've got to get it, this part under the board, and I wouldn't fiddle with that. Yeah. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but yeah. I think you would find it hard. I'm just looking for this.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's quite tricky because there's a map on the back here. This is just a bit too long. And my pencil marks are in amongst all these map marks, so that's quite tricky. I'm going to trim that off a little bit more. Right. Let's just take this all away. Okay, so I'm going to just use my bone folder now and just go along the backing board just to create a bit of an indentation so that when I move my paper over, the paper fibers have already been broken so that they cooperate. And what I like to do is I like to put a bead of glue along the edge and then along the paper, and then I fold it over this way and then use my bone folder. Just apply firm pressure. Okay, repeat on the other side. Bead of glue right up against the backing board, and then oops, glue and fold over. Hi, Margaret. Is it about midnight again at your side of the world? What does Mum say? Our church handed out lovely bags with chockies in. Oh, that's very special. No, you weren't nowhere. You're on time. Is it about midnight where you are now? I think it is, eh? All right, nice bone fold. Okay, so on these two edges, I'm just using my bone folder to tuck in.
11:15.
At night.
Mm-hmm.
You are very, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. I would not be functioning at that time of night. I admire people that function so late at night. Okay, and over. Oops. And one more edge, and then we can bring in the cover paper. So just tuck this in. This is so that you get that nice, tidy mitre along the edge again and over there. And one last time, we'll go over. Nice. That's worked out beautifully.
Margaret says she can't miss your lives, huh?
Oh, thank you, Margaret. That's very, very kind of you. Don't forget to give my video a thumbs up, ladies. It just helps the algorithms. Okay, so now what I want to do, we have the same drama because it's a 6x6, but that's okay. So I'm just going to do some, like really high-tech maths here by just folding it over, getting a crease, and then I'm just going to cut it with my paper trimmer. I mean, that's like, you know, really high-tech maths. Hopefully I've done it right, she says. Hang on, let me just, what do they say? Measure twice, cut once. I might just do a more definitive fold line there. Okay. I think that's right. Now I'm starting to doubt myself. Let's have a look. All right, did I measure that right? Yes. Okay, so how much is this? And then I can just add the extra bit. So that was 3 7/8. 3 7/8. And how much extra will we need? You see, I said to you that I'm not big on the measurement side. I just, oh my goodness, I admire Ruth when I watch her making her albums, and she measures them so cleverly, and I'm just, it's not my skill. Not my skill. Okay, so that's, hi Aletta, hello from Holland, welcome. Thank you, Margaret, that's very, very kind of you. Welcome, Aletta. Okay, right, let's join those, and then we can let that settle while we start our signatures. So this is a really easy album, really, really easy album, like I said earlier, because you're just going to take some cardstock. Let me make sure I measured that right. Just going to take some cardstock and we're going to fold it shortly. Oh, it's a little bit off there, but anyway, we're not going to notice. We're going to put cardstock on there. So I saw something on Facebook today which I thought was hysterical, and it just about summed me up. And then what was really hysterical was, okay, let me first tell you what I saw. So if you don't know me, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I am married to Richard, whom you will see at the end of this thing if you're brand new and you've only joined now. We have twin boys, 28, and one of my loves, and they're both married, and one of my many loves besides papercraft and orchids and food is Formula One racing. And so I'm just setting that to the side. And today I saw on Facebook a meme that said, what did it say? It said about, please respect the fact that when you get in the car with me, I identify as a race driver.
Yep.
I love that. And then the funny thing is, Richard was coming home with colleagues today, and the cop stopped him, your colleague, for speeding.
Yeah, stopped my colleague for speeding.
Okay, let's just pause. Let's get serious. What I'm about to do now is I'm going to create these signatures. Okay. So in order to create these signatures, I wanted for myself to have alternate colors of cardstock, but I also wanted to make sure that my cardstock is going to fit into my album. So I just, instead of cutting up cardstock and messing it up, I always just take a piece of copy paper first. And like I said to you, I just, I do simple stuff like fold it where I wanted to finish and fold it where I wanted to finish. And then I'm going to cut this, and then we can make sure that that is correct. Actually, let me do this on the paper trimmer, and then I will cut my cardstock, because you don't want to mess up cardstock. It's expensive, very expensive now. So I always use copy paper as a prototype first to work out my more complicated cards or complicated albums. And if I fold this in half, I don't want to bend that just yet, then that will be my middle point, which is about, just just bend it gently. There. I just don't want to bend it too much. So that'll go in there. And that'll stick up. So you see how that's sticking out just ever so slightly? So I'm just going to cut this back, winging this. Hopefully I don't cut it too much because I need these papers to fit. Okay, I just want to check one thing though, because yeah, that's good. Okay, I was just checking because I pre-cut the squares because it's going to take a long time. So let's go. Let's make that 3 1/8 by, how much have we got here? About 6. Let's just go with 3 1/8 first. So 3 1/8. Okay, we'll cut these shortly. 3 1/8. So I want 2 of petal pink and I want 3 of mossy meadow. Oh, love, can you please get me a piece of mossy meadow out my cupboard? It's labeled. It's that one there under Old Olive. That's it. Thank you. That's it. 3 1/8. Okay. And now, what did I say this was? 6 1/8 as well. Just want to check because it's right on that fold. Yep. Okay. So 6 1/8. No. 6 1/8. All right, let's make sure I've got this right. So I've got, one feels longer, ever so slightly. So I started it off with dark, then light, then dark, then light, then dark. Okay. Fold it in half. I'm just putting it in there. Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold these over quickly. Just give them a good burnish. Not too crazy, but just so that they are slightly burnished. And then we can put our ribbon in and then we can stamp some panels. I'm not going to do all the panels. I have stamped them, but I'm not going to. I'll see how we go for time. I'm not going to keep you guys here for like hours on end. Yeah. You'll get the gist of it. But there are a couple of things I definitely want to show you. So we'll do those together. Is everybody chatting or they're watching? Oh, watching. Okay.
Mesmerized.
Okay. So the easiest and simplest way to do bookbinding with signatures without piercing, you could use a crocodile if you had. I'm just checking my seams at the back. Is literally just taking some ribbon through the middle. So get my ribbon scissor. I'm using some basic beige ribbon here. Sorry, I went off camera there. Tying my ribbon on, yep. Okay, just get that around. So here we have your album with your signatures in them. How easy is that? Okay, now we can start the decorating. So with that one, I put some washi tape on, and I thought I might just, let's have a look. I wasn't sure. Do we put some washi tape on? Actually, this does work. So I'm just going to show you what I did. So on the dark ones, and I'm waiting for my Stampin' Up washi tape. I just thought it makes a nice, interesting border. So I'm just putting some washi tape on the edge of the dark ones.
Aleta says it's very nice.
Thank you, Aleta. I just love doing things, different projects with our products. So thank you for your comments. I do appreciate that. So I got this washi tape from the warehouse for my, excuse me, my Kiwi friends, Warehouse Stationery. They have some really pretty washi tape. I love washi tape.
Mum says Sarah Jane has joined us.
Hi, Sarah Jane. Good to have you here. That's pretty cool. Hope you're doing well. This one really works with our colours. It's got little bees.
It's beautiful.
And flowers.
Matches very well.
It does match well. Okay, so we'll finish this one. I'm looking forward to getting the new washi tapes. I ordered mine last week, so it should hopefully be arriving any day now. I think I checked today and it had arrived at customs, so we'll just...
Well, what about it? Are you looking forward to?
I love washi tape, and this one's got a die to cut out the flowers. So, and Vicky, who commented earlier that she's watching it on the replay, Vicky made the most beautiful card that she posted on Demonstrator Planning Place. So if you are a Stampin' Up demonstrator, do go and have a look at Vicky Allinson's card that she put up on Demonstrator Planning Place. I think she used both the washi tape and the rub-ons, which I forgot to order. Okay, so let's start stamping. What am I looking for? All right. So I've got some basic beige squares, which I cut enough of to do in the inside. So I just want to bring my mat. I have done some others ahead of time so that I don't have to stamp 12 in front of you. I'm going to be using this stamp, which makes a beautiful corner stamp. It's this one over here, and I'm doing it in Memento Black, which is actually in a empty white ink pad, thanks to Ruth's tip. So let's just get that off the little crease again.
So what's the stamp from?
This is the Gallery Blooms. Yep. It's a beautiful line art stamp, which has got a real vintage vibe to it, which I love. All right, so I want 2 of those. How long does it take for my orders to arrive? Yeah, and it's about the same for me, 10 days, ironically. I think yours probably goes down to Christchurch, and mine comes obviously through Auckland, so it takes about 10 days. It's certainly much faster than what it was a few a couple of years ago, it used to take up to 3 weeks. I'm just using some old olive blends to color in my leaves. So yeah, it takes us about 10 days. I don't think I've ever had it quick. Maybe a week. Just want to check, is this the dark? Yeah, maybe a week has been the fastest I've ever had it. But it's certainly not as fast as it used to be 15 years ago when I started using the product. But it's faster than it was. That's definitely the case. Okay, I'm just going to bring in some petal pink now, some light. My fluffy side is munted, so I'm just, oops, I realized that's not what I wanted. So I'm just coloring. I hope you can pick this up on the camera. It's very, very light. So I'm coloring light petal pink, just doing some scribbles on my petals. I'm not coloring the whole leaf. And now I'm doing the dark. And I'm just following the lines that the artists put in for us. So you don't have to be a Picasso, unless, of course, you are a Picasso. If you are a Picasso, then please blend away. I am not a Picasso, so I just follow the lines. And where's my light Calypso coral? In the middle. Oops, this is the one that's got the dodgy nib. And the dark one, and I'm just going underneath. Okay, I've done these ahead of time, so we've got a stash of them, and I want to bring up my Secret C, and I'm just going to gently tap the edge of my, oops, that's a bit heavy. This is very, very juicy. So I'm just tapping the edge so that I'm just getting a frame so that when it goes up on my cardstock, it's going to pop. Okay. So now we can glue these in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is screaming in. Screaming in with the measurements that I measured. What does Lizzie Ann say? The NZ Post is a brand new centre to shuttle out parcels. Oh, maybe that's why it's going a lot quicker. Okay, so now I'm just going to pop these alternatively. So that one's going that way, and I'm going to turn that one on the opposite. Oh, I see. That might be why it's been going a bit quicker. That makes sense. Okay, and then this one goes down.
And so she thinks it also depends on what day you order.
I think so too. I remember back in the day when I first started using Stampin' Up, and I wasn't a demonstrator, I was just a customer. They used to say on your order, if you ordered it on, I don't know if it was like a certain day, you would get it by the end of that week, but if you ordered it later, you would only get it later. And I think you're right, Anne. I think it still is the same. Okay. Well, I might have to tie this bow a bit tighter. It's going all over. it'll need to be tightened just a little bit more. It's such a pretty stamp. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. That is so pretty. This whole project started when I wanted to just play with my blends, and I was like, what can I do? What can I do? I want to play with my blends. I haven't played with my blends in such a long time. And then I was like, oh, let me make an album. And then I was like, oh, let me do this. And then this is what happened. My little album came from that. Oh gosh, have I miscalculated? Oh, I have to. Oh, too bad. Too bad.
You one short.
It would appear so. It would appear so. It's fine. I'll sort it out afterwards. Too short. Okay, now I want to show you my little tip for making my little corners for my photos. So I've made a whole stash of them, but I want to show you how to do that. So because this page is so small, I've cut this strip 1/2 inch wide. These ones are a bit bigger because the page was bigger, and they are 3/4 inch wide. So let me show you how I did this. I just want to make sure my fingers aren't sticky. So the beauty of making these corner tabs is that you can then stick your photos in. So you've got a straight edge on the left. Now my nails need to be cut so they're a bit long, and that's really annoying with this short, narrower piece. You're taking your corner up to the end. Let me just bring it up, and hopefully my camera is not going to spit the dummy on me. Can you see that? It's got, I've folded it over to go up to the top. And then you're going to bring this other corner over. So we've got that little triangle. Flip it over. I should probably have done this in white, hey? And you're trimming that off. And then you take a little piece of double-sided tape and put it over where the seam is, and then let me show you what we do. So you take your double-sided tape. Hold on, I just need my tape pick tool. I made a whole lot of these, but I'll just do one page. You'll get the gist of it. Okay, and you're going to place it down. I like to just use my bone folder to make sure it's secure. When I do albums like these, I work in, what's the word? I'll do one thing and I'll finish doing it. So I'll sit and I'll do all the folding, and then I'll sit and do all the gluing. I don't do it in bitsy pieces because it's a lot more, it's better use of your time to do that rather than finishing the project and then finishing each one. I hope I'm making sense. So I'll do a whole bag of these, and then I'll come and do all the pages. Does that make sense? I know what I mean, but maybe I'm not making sense. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to tighten this ribbon. It's going all over the place. Okay, and again, I'm just using my inometer, my very trusty inometer, not to put my photo tabs in. Look at that. There we go. Okay, so you'll just rinse and repeat for each of your pages. Conveying belt, that's it. All right, so we've got all of that. So now what I can do, so I'm just going to obviously finish that off camera later this week. I'll do each of these pages, but that's just to show you how those get done. And let's do the front cover now of the album. And then this one's shimmying around a lot. I wonder if it's because the ribbon is, actually, I'm just going to tighten this a bit because it's really, love, would you mind holding this for me, please? Could I get you to put your finger there? Yep, put your finger there so that I can, I'm just going to give it another firm, right, hopefully that's tighter. Thank
Mum
you.
says you haven't finished telling about the F1 story.
What was I telling? That I was watching that, just about that I love F1. And then that I did finish because I said that, that I saw this meme that said that when I identify as a racing driver, and then the irony was that Richard's colleague got a fine today and 20 demerit points, which is quite a lot in New Zealand. A lot of demerit points.
I can make a nice bumper sticker for your car.
What have I done with my stamp? Yes, it could do. It could do. Sorry, I'm just looking for my stamp. Okay, now I'm just working on the front. So I'm bringing my memento back. And I'm going to stamp that. Absolutely. It could make a very, very nice bumper sticker. Yeah, that was quite, when Rich came home, that was the first thing you said, eh? Was that that your colleague got a fine?
Mm-hmm.
120, Mum, down the Kaimais. My mum will know. She knows the road. It's an incredibly dangerous road. Very dangerous road. The truck drivers call it the cannonball run. We've got a lot of logging trucks that come down this road, and it just goes down, 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 and the trucks come
long and steep,
hurtling down at high speed. And did you say he was passing a truck?
Yeah, he was passing a truck in the passing lane. Unfortunately for him, the cops were coming in the opposite direction at that very moment.
Yeah, but that is, gosh. Mind you, though, I can't comment because I passed a milk tanker the one time up on Northland, doing much more than that, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that particular road, the Kaimais are really notoriously dangerous. You said you were napping the back of the car.
Yeah, I was a passenger coming back.
Yeah, you in Tapoi. Leslie Ann's in Tapoi, love.
Oh, right. Very good.
Okay, now, ladies, I just want to get my cardstock. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing here. So I'm die cutting this with the die, which is this one. Okay. Hi, Pippa. Yes, absolutely. Have a good day at work. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the sunshine. I think you said you were having sunshine. Mm-hmm. Thanks for visiting. Okay, and I'm going to make some green for my foliage. So I'm just going to use my blends. I like to do this a lot. Just make my own leaves. I just want to see how many I need. A bit more. Okay, it's that one. And which one else did I use? This one. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go over to my desk and just die cut these so that I don't make my camera jump. So we'll do that. Right.
The other thing you were watching on the weekend, love, was the F1 racing drivers at the Miami Grand Prix a couple of weeks back, climbing in life-size F1 cars built from Lego.
Lego, yes.
Built from Lego.
That was so much fun.
With little engines in and proper racing wheels, and they did a lap.
That was so much fun.
Racing each other.
I know. They're very fun. They were
two drivers per car.
Well, it was each team that was in their own Lego.
It was hilarious.
It was fun.
So if you Google F1 Miami Lego cars, you'll see heaps of videos.
Yeah.
Crack up.
Well, that's because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Bernie enjoys F1 so much. She has bought me an annual subscription to F1 TV so that I can supposedly watch
and
the F1 races. I do watch
them.
Yeah.
You get withdrawal symptoms when they're not happening. We both go like when it's not a race weekend, we both like,
racing this weekend.
What, they're supposed to be racing this weekend? Okay.
It's one of our few indulgences.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got my little leaves and my little flowers. Now the next thing I just want to do is I just want to die cut a circle. I am using an old retired layering circle die for this. Just want to see which size is going to be, because I'm only doing half. Actually, I like that size. So I'm going to cut this out of my scrap piece of cardstock. We're almost there. Coming to the end. I'm glad I didn't sit and colour in all my pieces, eh? I would have driven everybody mad. Okay. Righto. So I always, when I do this sort of thing, I actually like to put it onto a piece of cardstock just to reinforce it. It's also very pretty. It would make a nice journal. But I'm not making a journal tonight. Okay. And how far am I going? That far? Yep. So bring back my trusty paper trimmer. One of my friends bought a paper trimmer the other day for the first time, and she couldn't believe the difference compared to some of the other paper trimmers out on the market. It is definitely well worth getting if you don't have one. All right, let's pop that down. Just a circle. These leaves, I've got these little cute little bits that pop up. So I'm just popping them up and then just putting some glue here and there, but not so that the leaves are glued down. I like 3D sort of looks to my projects. So I just want to get that up. Where's my, take your pick tool, lift it up. And the same with this one. So next Tuesday evening, just a reminder, we're not going to be live because Rich, Lord willing, will have had his ear surgery this time next week, Tuesday. And we're trusting that it will have gone well. Hey, Lovey.
Yep.
Looking for my mini. Yeah, so I will organize a video. I'll record it probably on Thursday and then set it as a scheduled, just as a video, not as a not a live. for you to enjoy. It may even involve brand new product, depending on what time. If they arrive, hopefully tomorrow, we may even have brand new product coming.
Leslie Ann says if she wants a good sleep, she turns the motor racing on and 3 laps later she's out. It happened to you one Sunday afternoon or evening we were watching.
I will not say anything in response to that.
Because it's true.
Well, I have fallen asleep. Depending on some of the races, I can't watch the race in the Netherlands because of the way the racetrack is. It's very up and down, and it made me Cossack watching it. It was intense. Okay, I'm just getting some of my linen thread to make my little bow. And then we got embellishments. And then we're just about done. It's been lovely having your company with me tonight. Oh, Leslie Ann, so you were texting, because I know you said you weren't going to be texting, but she was texting. She couldn't help herself. Right, let's put a... Where's my glue dot? Oh, hold on. Where my glue dot's gone, love? Oh, it's a good thing no one can see my desk.
It's the droning of the commentary, says Leslie Ann. It was the droning of the engines that puts you to sleep.
It depends on who's commentating as to whether they make me fall asleep. Hi, Susie. Nice to have you here. Welcome. You're watching from Aussie. She's watching on her phone and on her.
She's multitasking.
She is. All right, let's pop these embellishments in. And I might just put this one down here. All right.
So yeah, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up at the end.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Help spread the word far and wide.
I've just chucked that thing down again and the embellishments have fallen again. It's now about the 15th time. One last thing I want to do, just put some little dashes around with my Secret Sky marker. I'm just going to put, oh, I'm wondering if I want to do that. I don't know now. I'm hesitating.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think this one needs it.
Nope.
I think I'm going to leave. I stopped as I was about to do that. Yeah, I don't think so. Thank you, Monica. So here we go. Little baby one. It's so cute. Look, there are your signatures. And then you open it up. Oh, such pretty paper. Open it up. And we've got inside white paper flicks. Yes, I might do some acrylic paper flicks on it. That's a good point. So we've got the inside with your little photo doodakies, and then obviously I'll go ahead and I'll put the rest on. I won't bore you with having to watch me do the same thing over and over. But this is how you make an album, and because this one has got this in it, you can change out your photos and you can write a message there, or yeah, whatever you want to do. But what a beautiful, fun project featuring the gorgeous paper. And look, there's a big one and a little one. It's adorable.
Very, very adorable. Very cute.
Thank you, Aletta. All right. So that's just, yeah, it's so much fun coming up with this. Thank you so much, Mum. Enjoy your week too. Thank you, everybody, for crafting with me and for all your comments and for just being part of my little tiny community here at the other end of the world. It was really lovely having you all in the craft room this evening. Have a wonderful week, and you're welcome, Leslie Ann. We will very likely be back in 2 weeks' time live. Hey, yeah, hopefully.
You'll be back,
I will
right?
be back.
You'll be
Hopefully,
back, right?
hopefully. So please pray for Rich. Please pray for his surgery next Tuesday, New Zealand time. Would really appreciate your prayers and support for him in that way. But yes, lovely having you all with us. Thank you, Monica.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll catch you all in a couple of weeks, but there will be a video for you next Tuesday. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Lovely meeting all my new friends here. Okay. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.